Steve Asmussen is one of the most successful thoroughbred racehorse trainers of all time. Asmussen also has the most extensive record of rule and drug violations of all major trainers in U.S. horse racing. PETA conducted a 4-month investigation of Steve Asmussen's operations at the famous Churchill Downs and Saratoga racetracks in order to expose what it takes to get to the top in horse racing and the price that the horses pay. On average, 24 horses per week die on racetracks in the U.S. During the course of the investigation, PETA's undercover agent documented standard practices in this industry in which death and injuries are business as usual.
The horses were sore and injured all the time and constantly getting injections and treatments of all kinds.
Fuck these horses. Motherfuckers, they'll fucking break your fucking heart every fucking day. These cocksuckers. There's always something wrong with them.
To train and race through all the injuries, exhaustion, and pain, horses are subjected to an endless cycle of performance-enhancing medications and pain-masking drugs. This regimen takes its toll on fragile young horses whose bones aren't fully developed.
This place is hard on horses, man. Everybody wants their horses here. It's the hardest place in the world, man. Just see these limping motherfuckers. I see this son of a bitch out here jogging and everything. It's fucking horrible. Now that's nice to see that much fluid shooting out of it going. Well, fuck, look at the fluid in there.
Even Asmussen's prized horse Nero, who finished second in the 2011 Kentucky Derby, was forced to continue training and racing on painful, chronically damaged feet.
Animal Kingdom wins the Derby! Nero in second!
Have Nero's feet always been this bad?
Yes. They're horrible.
That's all missing. His foot is a little bitty nub. It's all broke off. He lost, listen to me, he lost Z-bars on both feet multiple times until he had bloody holes in the bottom of his feet.
Oh no, this you don't have any foot at all. Quit being such an asshole. Got contracted heels. Aggravating son of a bitch. And he's got no foot. There's no wall. There's no wall.
He doesn't even have a pulse in this one. He's barely got one in the, stick your thumb in there, right there in the throat. Oh, right there, don't touch it again. Oh, he can't take a brush. No, it's been like that for 3 months, right there, from putting a Z-bar over top of it and rotted. Put your thumb in that hole right there.
Listen, I know the fucker hurts. This hurts.
Let me show you this hole. This is Chester's. We tried super glue in that hole. Super glue.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Just a few days later, on Kentucky Derby Day 2013, Nero died after a severe bout with colic at Churchill Downs.
I have seen a lot of shit. That is the most violent fucking death I've ever seen.
We almost died just trying to get that motherfucker down.
We retired the horse a year ago. So we retired him from racing last year. Yeah, that's when we started. He was finished then. After that, he retired.
Why didn't they? For the money?
From birth to death, most horses used for racing are treated like disposable commodities.
You cannot believe how many they hurt and kill before they ever even get to the racetrack. It's mind-boggling.
While gamblers at the Kentucky Derby sip mint juleps, the horses are served a steady diet of drug cocktails.
With all the medications the horses were being given, even in their feed, it felt more like working in a pharmacy than a stable.
One of Asmussen's drugs of choice was thyroxin. The drug was being given to every horse in Asmussen's barns, apparently without testing or evidence of any thyroid condition. This drug was recklessly administered, seemingly just to speed up metabolism, not for any therapeutic purpose.
Viral level up. Makes me feel good.
Similarly, Lasix, a controversial drug banned in Europe on race days, was injected into all of Asmussen's horses who were being raced or timed. PETA's investigator recorded New York's top horse racing veterinarian admit that the primary reason why Lasix is given to most of the horses is for performance enhancement.
Do people have all the horses he works on LASIK, you know? Or do they come at different?
Basically all run on it. It makes him lighter.
I just didn't know if there were some that didn't need it.
Probably. But it's a performance enhancer.
PETA's investigator also documented an array of painful treatments performed on horses,
Are those markings like from blisters?
Right there, that's from freeze fire. You take liquid nitrogen.
Freezes circulation.
Yeah, he's the worst fucking freeze fire job I've ever seen in my life. Shockwave therapy is like, it's dead. It kills pain. That's why you can't do it close to it. Because people used to do it like 2 or 3 days out, and then these fuckers go out there and snap their fucking leg off.
You have to have a specialist come in and do it?
No, anybody can do it. Fucking retard can do it. It fucking hurts like hell. I can't believe when fucking some bitches can take it.
I would see bettors in the stands reading statistics in the daily racing form, and I would think, they don't know how sore and injured these horses are and how many medications they're on. They're being duped.
Here, Asmussen's chief assistant trainer, Scott Blasi, angry that his horse got scratched by stewards before a race, tells the investigator how he will fool the stewards next time.
You know what? I'll fuck them next time. I'll put a gel cast on that motherfucker and I'll make it look as good as it fucking can. I ain't got no problem scratching the horse. Horse is a little fucking off.
Trainers will do just about anything to gain an advantage, regardless of the consequences to the horses. Here, Scott Blasi jokes about how one of his leading jockeys, Ricardo Santana Jr., used a concealed shocking device on the horses.
I tell him,
Wake up cold in the
you
morning.
got the mucking now? Boss, I got the mucking now.
The investigator also recorded Hall of Fame jockey Gary Stevens and Hall of Fame trainer D. Wayne Lucas laughing about the use of these painful and dangerous shocking devices.
So, long story short, I win the race and hit the finish line, and I reach over the horse, and I shock the shit out of it.
Well, we used to go behind the gate at Rio Dosa, and it was just like it was a full-blown orchestra. Everybody had one.
Although during nationally televised races, owners and trainers will wax on about how much they love their horses, here's what they say when they think the cameras aren't rolling. Here, Scott Blasi celebrates losing one of his poorly performing horses in a claiming race to a new owner.
Just do a fucking cartwheel right now.
The horse, Valediction, later had to have emergency surgery, but Blasi was overjoyed that he had unloaded the horse.
If they ask you how he is, say he's my favorite horse.
Then Blasi and the new trainer for Valediction, Rudy Rodriguez, joked about Valediction, saying that he was a rat, horse racing vernacular for a horse who doesn't win money.
You take my horse? You'll do good with him, Rudy. It's a rat, man. Rudy, we traded a rat for a rat. We traded a rat for a rat.
PETA's investigator also documented the terrible conditions for the exploited workers in Asmussen's barns. Many undocumented laborers were required to work long, hard hours for little pay.
It was awful to see them getting exploited like this. Many couldn't even live in the staff dorms at the track because they were undocumented workers. They had to sleep in barns and tack rooms.
Here, Asmussen is explaining how to manufacture paperwork illegally.
I presented it to them like this. It's real simple. If you guys want a job, you're not going to work for me under that name. They'll come in and fucking raise you. As far as they know, you don't exist anymore.
Did you help them get the social security cards too and all that so they could work?
It's like $60, $70 a person.
The horse racing industry tries to project the image of rolling, bluegrass hills, and family farms. But these are factory farms, where syringes are the most important tools of the trade.